What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is going to be on the company van. We're actually going to change all 4 rotors and 4 pads. Not sure what happened from one day to another. The pads and rotors sound horrible, screeching cats all over the place. And I actually came here back to Cisco. He did our install last week on the airbags on the Camry, and he's going to do the rotors and pads. It's funny because I could do them, but I'm just so busy that I have other people work on my own cars. Makes total sense, right? But yeah, let me go ahead and I'll start showing you around, and we'll show you guys how to install these rotors and pads on a 2015 to 2019 Transit. I believe it's more, but just to be safe around that area. All right, stay tuned.
Yep. Yeah, though. Bro, we're doing the we're painting the wheels and.
All right, so obviously you have to take off the caliper, and then you have to remove the hub to remove the rotor. So the rotor's already loose, but you got to take out the hub. Obviously, take out the bolts. It's actually held on by other bolts onto there. And if you see, I don't see it. On one of the sides, you have to take out one of the bolts from inside here. So after you remove that, this whole hub suddenly comes out. You're able to replace the rotor. So the bolts are in there. They're T47 bolts, like this. And that holds the hub onto that.
You got to take these bolts out, which go here, and then take those inside out.
And then the whole thing comes out.
Yep.
Sweet. Basically, once you take the screws out, the whole rotor comes off, and it looks like this. These were done. Maybe resurface them, but alright, just replace it. That's a new one. So when you're putting it back together, make sure you line up those holes to be able to put the screw ins before you tighten up the smaller ones. That way you're able to put those screws in. The caliper, make sure you compress the pistons, change out the clips. Usually the kit you have will bring brand new clips, and then you change out the pads. Make sure they're facing the right way, the little edge is facing out instead of in. Frank's been working on the other side. It's pretty much the same thing as the other front. Just remember the bolts, make sure they line up. It should be good. I'll show you guys now the rear. Make sure you guys check your brakes. Mine was squeaking for a minute, so I just thought I needed a rotor change. But look at this, it has a little lip here. So basically it's so worn out that the pad is sitting on this. And it's making it difficult to pop out. So we're fighting this now. Alright, so the other side was kind of tough, but this side should be easier. Make sure you have this tool for the piston. Not sure what it's called. You know what it's called? No, right?
Huh?
You don't know what it's called, right?
Yeah, the piston for the brake.
Oh, yeah.
For the brake caliper.
So that's the piston for the brake caliper. And basically, you'll use it to retract it. The other side was, I guess since it was so worn out, it was pushed out all the way. It was tight so that this wasn't, it was actually bending these little prongs. But once he adjusted it, he was able to use this, and we were able to take the actual caliper out. So for this system, caliper has to come out. The hub comes out, but it's like the whole axle. It's the whole axle basically. The whole axle, the rear axle comes out from the middle, and that's how the rotor comes out. I'll show you that once he takes it out. Okay, so for the piston, since it was already all the way out, what he did was compress the piston with this, held it in place, and then grabbed that and started yanking it, turning it.
It has an arrow here.
Yeah, which way it goes?
Turn it this way.
Clockwise.
Yeah, the piston was so far out that when I put the tool on, it was turning. It was basically
spinning.
It wasn't grabbing on. So what I did is I put this on and I compressed it, and I started spinning it with this, and it grabbed on. Once it grabbed on, it literally took me a minute just to
with that.
put
With
it
the
in
actual
with
tool.
the actual tool.
Probably it's just mine, since mines are so far gone. The rotors, as you can see, it's really bad. But yeah, that's how Frank ended up doing it, and it took him a while. So that's why the brakes were screaming.
That's why.
Yeah. So basically, the pads, there's no pads. It's just metal now. It was just straight metal. The other one's pretty much done too. The other side had actually more meat than this side, right?
Yeah.
So the
And it was still pushed up.
so basically, pads are removed, calipers are removed. He's actually putting the new clips in now.
And make sure you put these right.
Yeah, make sure you put them right
These
so that
little
edges are pointing out
pointing out, yeah,
instead
not
of in.
pointing in.
Once the yeah, that'll make a squeak and scratch the disc that you just put new, so you don't want that. Axle comes off, and he's able to take out the rotor now. You put the rotor in, do everything backwards that same way, but pretty much the hard part is over, right?
Yeah. Which is really not hard. I mean, pushing that in.
You just gotta know how to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, put the clips in, then mount it back up after you put the new rotor in, tighten everything up, and it should be good. That's the axle. So pads are different. This is the rear pad going towards the piston. This is gonna be the outer pad. This little bit here is a guide for the piston, the little notch there, so it sits properly. So you gotta make sure you put that correctly. Actually, if not, it won't sit. Actually, it would sit, but it'll be loose, right? Technically speaking.
These are closer.
Yes, it won't sit.
You see? They're closer in. So this
Piston?
would sit on the piston and it won't sit
It
right.
won't sit right. So
Won't sit
you'll
right.
you'll know, but
You'll be able to like
move it around. Look at the rear pads. There's the front side. That's just pure metal. It was really bad. Wow. I mean, I know it was making noise, but past couple of days it was making extra noise. And that's good about the brakes, but oh my goodness, you can see it from here. They were so gone. Pretty simple install, but time consuming in this case. So basically what was happening, I said it before, the pad is so worn out. Not sure what happened, but so worn out that when it was rubbing on this, it's actually scraping the rotor and making it look like that. So yeah, it needed to be changed for sure. There's no doubt about that. Frank is putting on the new rotor now, putting the caliper in, and we should have the van back on the ground soon. All right, guys, that's it. Frank was able to make the Transit drive smooth again. We replaced all 4 rotors and pads. Frank was able to knock it out. He had some difficulties, but he handled it. And now there's no noises, which is amazing. I'm so happy because it was screeching. It was really bad. I know how to do brakes, but I barely have time. Right now I'm on my way to go help another client, and my own cars get neglected most of the time. Last week, Cisco helped me with my Camry and he bagged it. This week was his brother Frank. He did the brakes and rotors. This Saturday they're actually going to service my differential. They're going to change the gasket and refill it with oil. And I found these guys out via Instagram, somebody else, and they're awesome. They're awesome. If you're in South Florida, hit them up. I'll leave their links down below. They are awesome. They're neat, they're clean, they take care of your stuff, and that's what matters to me. You know, you guys, people that try their best, just like me. You know, I'm a small business, and so are they, and I like to support them. Why not? And prices are good, service is good, and yeah, van is driving like great, like new. Once again, guys, thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for watching all these videos, and we have lots and lots of modifications coming for the van now. The Camry is already getting finished, or at least to where I want it for now, and we're gonna start focusing on the van. We're gonna do a lot of modifications we have planned for it, and I'll bring you guys along. So if you haven't followed our Instagram, I'll link the link down below also, and keep up to date with everything we do through there. And once again, guys, thank you for all the support. On to the next one.